In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use the Plex music feature of Plex and Plex Media Server. Now in the past I've done multiple videos on using Plex and the Plex Media Server. I've just never actually taken the time to go through and explain the Plex music section of the Plex features that it has, and this will actually make Plex a much more stronger device on your system. Now up to this point I've never used Plex Music. I've usually on my smart TV I would either log in Pandora or Spotify to listen to streaming music on my multimedia system or on using my surround sound. However, I just recently got some new Christmas albums and I stuck it on my, and I ripped them off and put them on my computer system, and I realized that I can stream it across my media server using Plex Music. Now let me show you what Plex Music is. I'll show you how to set it up, and then if you don't like it, I'll show you some alternatives at the bottom. And like I said, if you found the video on YouTube, I will provide a link below so you don't have to stop the music or the video to look at how I set up the music player. Now Plex allows you to create a music library to allow you to access all your music content from your computer and other devices like your cell phone, your tablet, your smart TV, and other devices using Plex app. Now there's an app called Plexamp for those of you that use cell phones, whether it's an Android or an iOS device, that you can go into your Plex store and you can install this on your tablet or your phone, and you can access your media files, your music files, across your media server. And this is for the free users, and this is for those of you that pays for the Plex Pass. There's other features, so you can click the link on my website that you can look at all the features of this particular app, and it's a very powerful app. But Plexamp is a dedicated future-rich music player for Plex. It's designed for audiophiles and music enthusiasts to enjoy their personal music libraries, whether locally stored or streamed remotely. Now if you're going to stream outside your network, you'll need a Plex Pass, but to stream within your network at home, you can just use this typical Plex Media Server and the typical Plexamp without the Plex Pass. Now in the past I've showed you how to set up the Plex Media Server, so I'm not going to go through all of that step again. If you'd like to see that, you can click the link on my website and it will take you through all the steps on setting up the Plex Media Server on your system. If you want to make sure that you've got the newest version of Plex on your system and the Plex Media Server, you can click the Plex link here, go to your download section, and choose whichever type of device that you're installing it on to see that you have the newest version. Once that you have your Plex Media Server set up on your system, you can then open up Plex, hover over to where you see the settings icon on the gear icon, click on that, and I'll show you here. It's up here is the gear icon that you can click on for your settings. So I'll go ahead and click this. Let me go back and show you my illustrations, and then I'll go back to the Plex app itself. So you click on settings and it will take you to something that looks like this. Yours is going to be named according to what you named it when you set up your Plex Media Server on your system. Now as you can see, I've already got movie set up and TV set up, and that was through the previous videos that I showed you earlier on my website. So here I want to add a music section, so I'm going to click the link Add Library, and if that's hard to see, I zoomed in on it so that you click the Add Library section, which is here, and when you click that, it will bring up an Add Library dialog box. Here you can select whether you want to set up movies, TVs, and I've already showed how to set these up. You can set up your music, which is what we're going to do, or if you have a lot of photos on your computer, you can set up photos so that you can stream them across your streaming devices such as your TVs, your phones and tablets, or if you have other videos like birthday videos, vacation videos, holiday videos, you can set those up so that you can see your family and friends videos across your streaming device. But in this case we're going to set up music, so I click on the music icon, and when I do, it's going to create a little drop down in this same dialog box allowing you to name your section. Since this one's named movies and this one's TVs, I just kept the default music, and then you can select the language of your choice and click the next button. Once you click the next button, you're going to add your folders to your library, and you may have to do this multiple times if you have multiple folders where you have albums installed in your system. Now I have one particular, actually I have a couple, but the one that I wanted to link to is just one folder that I have to where it shares my music from what's in that one folder. So you click on the Browse for Media folder, and it will pop up a little dialog box that says Add Folders. On the side over here, I found my MNT folder, which is my mount folder where I have my other hard drives in my computer system, and then I simply scrolled through and navigated through until I found my music folder. So yours might not be called music, yours might be something else, and you may have them in multiple folders, so you may have to do this step multiple times. But in my case, I click the music folder and click add, and then you go through and do that multiple times for wherever the folders of your albums, and when you're finished, you go back up and then click the add library, and then it will add your library here, which is music, and it will go through and it'll take a while. And in my case, it took a long time because I have multiple albums and lots of songs on my computer, so it took a while to populate those. And once it finishes populating, you can click onto the home button, and then you'll see on the side where you got your movies, your TVs, your live TVs, and then you'll see a little music note. If you click on the music note, it will take you to your music section. Now, the first time you do this, it will be set up by default to display your albums by the artist, and the reason why it does this is more efficient. Like, for example, I have like 4 or 5 albums from Aaron Tippin back in the days. So if I click on that, you'll see 4 or 5 albums. Instead of showing 4 or 5 albums from him and then multiple albums, it would be longer to scroll through. It's shorter number of scrolling icons on here by just showing the artist. Now, in the case of various artists, if I scroll down, there will be a various artist at the bottom, which I can click on that, and for albums that have more artists, it will be placed in that particular category. Now, for those of you that don't like using Plex, there's other services out there that works very similar to this, but I'm not going to go over them in this video. Let's take a look at the Plex on my system. So once you click the settings icon up here, you're going to scroll down. It will probably be up here at the top. You're going to scroll down until you see manage, and under manage you're going to click on libraries. As you can see here, I've already have music on my system, and I'm not going to go through there and remove it, but if you wanted to remove any of these, if you actually added one and you wanted to remove it, you come over to the dot, and there's things that you can do here, but you can delete them, and then you can empty the trash so that it gets rid of everything that's in your trash bin. You can edit your library, or you can manage the recommendations for any of the topics that you see here. But the first thing you do when you click add library, and I've already have it here, you're going to click the music, come and name your music, and then hit the next. And then when you get back to that screen where you add your library, after you select all your folders, it will then take a while to populate, and once it populates, you're then ready to hit back the home button. Since I started up already in my music folder, I'm just going to back up into my music folder. Now, as you can see here, I'm in the various artists, which is at the bottom. So if I click the music, as you can see here are the album artists that I have on my system. It looks like a lot, but if you really count them, there's probably many of you that have a lot more artists than this. This is over the years of collecting music, and when my nephew lived with me, he would also rip off music and put it on my computer as well. So some of the artists that you see here are from my nephew, and some of them are from my own collection. Now, if you simply scroll down to the bottom, click on the various artists, that's what you seen when I first backed up. Let's say, for example, I wanted to play this particular Christmas album. I click here, and as you can see here, here's the album art that it populated. It populated a short description, and it shows you the number of tracks, the name of the song, and the artist. It shows you how long the songs are, and you can rate them yourself over by highlighting and to choose like 4-star, 5-star, 3, or whatever you want to. Now, on your system, you can hover over and click the play button, and it will play your first song, and it will continue until it played every song on the in this list. I don't use this as a music player on my computer. I have other music players on my system that I use for that. I just use this to stream the music to my smart TV or my smart devices like my bedroom television and the TV in my living room, where that I can listen to it through surround sound, because I can set up not just to play this album, I can set up multiple albums so that when it's finished playing one album, it'll automatically go to the next one and start playing. So that way that I'm playing uninterrupted music, unlike Spotify or Pandora where you play it a while, it will come up with an advertisement. This will play your music across your devices so that you're playing just only music that's uninterrupted by advertisements. If this is something that you're interested in, then take a look at the information on my website. Take a look at the links that I have within this section on my webpage to see if that you like it. And like I said, if you don't like using Plex, that's okay. You can install Jellyfin, Emby, MStream, Navidrome, Funkwell, AirSonic, or Summer. I don't even know how to pronounce that correctly. And there's even others out there. I just did a few little research and put these on there so that if you would like to stream your music across your media server, you have other options other than Plex. Like I said, I've got your documentations or forums or demos so that you can take a look at, so that if you don't like using Plex, you can see that you have other choices to use as well. Hopefully this video has been helpful to someone, and have a great day.